Beep, 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 beep. Morning. How are we all? And now the dustman comes. Listen, noisy devil. Right, okay. How are we all? It's great to be talking to you again. So I had an adventure yesterday. I went on an adventure. It was nice. So I've got a few things to tell you today. I'm starting to sound like an aggregator, which worries me. So Sheffield's on hold again for a few days, and then I'm going to have a little break. Okay, so what we're going to do today is there's lots to tell you. First off, do the usual, become a warrior teacher, support my Substack, blah, 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 right? But I went out. So I went out to meet some friends who I've known for many, many years. So they're old friends. They always remind me of that wonderful Janice Ian song, Tea and Sympathy. The comfort of a few old friends long past their prime. Except, of course, these people aren't past their prime at all. It's only me that's past my prime. So it was great to catch up with a few people. And we were discussing this particular nonsense that we find ourselves in, the critical social justice and gender and all that nonsense that's going on. And they were seeing it appear in their workplaces, particularly for an individual I was talking to from the NHS. And then we had somebody there who was a pension fund manager. Nothing. Nada. Zip. So it's just, it's only affecting certain places. But what was interesting was, I then, after we'd had our, nice catch up and a glass of wine, I went for a wander in the local rocker pub. Okay, so I'm in this pub surrounded by rockers. Young people dressed silly outfits and very strange looking people indeed. But they're fantastic folk, and the music was great, really enjoyable. And I managed to catch up with another group of people that I've not seen for about 5 or 6 years, who I used to drink with in there quite often, in this particular pub. So we were sat talking away, and one said, well, what are you doing these days? And I told them about what I'm up to, and the reaction was instantaneous. It was extraordinary to watch, so I want to just tell you what happened. All of a sudden, they all went, this LGBTQI nonsense, isn't it? I said, yeah, it is. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. They said, bloody dangerous that for gay men and women. Keep going, okay? Keep going, all right? People are getting it. People are seeing what's happening, and people are understanding how dangerous this is. Just keep going, one person at a time. So this young person then turns up and went, and we saw what we were talking about, and he said, I'm sorry. He said, what are you talking about? This is transphobic. And then I said, well, how can it be transphobic? If you believe in this nonsense, you don't exist. And it was like somebody turned a light bulb on. Bing! Oh, I think he rolled himself a cigarette and wandered off looking confused. Brilliant. I love it. Right. So that was what happened last night. It was a great night. Now, next, you're going to see me tweeting today a picture of Partners for Ethical Care who have a conference in not Tesco. Can you imagine? Texas, right? They go into Texas and there's some really good people in the lineup if you have a look and see. Right? Alex Aaron, yeah? Alex is going to be there. And so, Anyway, good folk. And you'll see underneath the picture of all these wonderful people, special guest, Barry Wall, head warrior teacher. Me! So I will be virtually attending an event in Texas. So you're going to see me putting that up. This is all in the doobers, by the way, everything you need to know. Parents for Ethical Care. I'll put the tweet up. Please share so that people know what's going on. And then hopefully it'll be, videoed, and then we'll be able to have a look, right? Next thing on the agenda of this aggregator of a session here, right? Benjamin Boyce is going to publish our interview shortly. We had fun, right? Okay, there was something in there to upset everybody. God forbid the jester suggest. But yes, so there's something in there to upset everybody. So that's the next thing, right? So I'm being quick today because I've got loads to do. But there's been some glorious stuff happening that just needs to be talked about. So I'm going to talk about it, right? And first off, we're going to go for the evisceration of the Roald Dahl books. Now, you will know this story. They've now started on James Bond. They'll do anything they can, these grievance gerbils, right? So that's what they are, grievance gerbils. They like to mine for grievance and oppression because they're mad, right? And we've given them some power, which we're going to take away brutally. So it turns out... it turns out that the individual that was doing it, wait for it. This is a Daily Fail, by the way, but what the hell is funny, right? Okay, so... revealed. That's the headline. Revealed. Roald Dahl books. Roald Dahl books were neutered by woke consultants aged 8 to 30. We've given the kids the room and they're covering the walls in shit, right? From 8 to 30, led by non-binary, I gotta get this right, non-binary, asexual, polyamorous relationship anarchist who is on the autism spectrum. That's the whole lot there. They got a lot, didn't they? Right? So you can see it. But the effort by inclusion consultants to sanitise the collected works of famed children's author Roald Dahl has caused a stir across the literary world, which has caused a stir everywhere. Who do these people think they are? Go away. We don't need you. Okay? The editors who spent... You know, the sooner we change the law in regards to copyright, i.e. we make ownership of your own copyright much shorter, we can get this lot PDF'd and get out in public and they won't be able to touch it. That's how you deal with these people. Okay? Because they're doing it with films, they're doing it with TV. It's Ben Sixsmith will get a great article about the importance of physical media. I'll see if I can find it and put it in the doobers. You need to start owning stuff, folks, because otherwise they're going to start to tell you what you can watch and they're going to tailor what they want you to watch to say what they want it to say. And this will mean anything. It could be programs from the past, could be films, could be anything. You've got to watch these censors because they get everywhere. And the easiest way to neuter them, because they want to squeeze it down so they can control it, is to make it publicly available en masse so they can't. That's how we do it. And to do that, we need to change copyright laws. Fast, very fast. So that original works and films, when they are released and how they were released, are able to be shared on public platforms without copyright law being broken. Think about that one. It's good. Have a think. Yeah, right. So back to this. So the bowdlerisation of Dahl's books, which broadly included eliminating language deemed insensitive and non-inclusive. Oh, by all accounts, there's a new acronym as well. One of my warrior teachers tells me. EDIB. Equality, diversity, inclusion and belonging. You can just fuck off. EDIB. I'm going to start calling people that follow that Ediboids. It's some monster out of a Doctor Who episode. And this week, children, Doctor Who and the terror of the Ediboids. Right. So this comes from an organisation that they hired. And what they've been given as a task is they've got to make every book, making mainstream books represent every child. They're insane. They're insane. They do this by enlisting sensitivity readers and inclusion ambassadors to suggest edits to books that would scrub them of derogatory language and harmful assumptions about race, class, creed, and so on and so on. In the case of Roald Dahl debacle, which has been lambasted across a number of countries by readers and publications alike, Joe Ross Barrett was at the head of the project. Then we've got a picture of Joe Ross Barrett. Not Parrot, although, you know, it's a bit of a squawking bird, isn't she? Joe Ross Barrett, who recently departed Inclusive Minds to become a full-time DEI professional, describes herself as the aforementioned non-binary asexual lunatic, right? Okay, so they're called Inclusive Minds. So go and have a look, see if you can find them. That's what they're called, Inclusive Minds. I just want them to go away. And they essentially have been messing with Dahl's books, and they're going to mess with anything that you let them mess with unless you speak up. It's so Orwellian, it's unreal. Anyway, that was the first thing that I thought was amusing today. So you got that, right? So you got that first thing, right? And here comes the next one. We've got, as Clive and Dennis would say, we've got some titzilla news. Do you remember the big petitted Canadian guy who had sort of two rubber prosthetic breasts like bowling balls hanging around his neck while he was doing woodwork? You know, had those nipples off if he wasn't careful. They found out he doesn't wear them outside work, and therefore they have put him on leave. There's a school that got itself in a mess, didn't it? It's like, stop bringing your big plastic tits into school. Why is it so hard to say that? Get them off. But they frightened the pupils. They told the pupils, you can't photograph him. And you can't photograph him. That's what they told the pupils. So they did everything they could to be inclusive of this LARPing bloke with a pair of tits so big that if they were fired right, they could knock a Messerschmitt out the sky. He went skydiving with them on as well. So Titzilla is now on leave. He must be laughing all the way to the bank. These people are going to get hoisted by their own petard. That was the second one. And just for the fun of it, for my last whinge today, right, okay? This is glorious. This is glorious, okay? Now, Newham Green, apparently, is a place, right? No, Newham is a place. The Green Leader, right? So the leader of the Green Nutters, this party of lunatics, you know the ones? Everybody's going to eat dust, kill whatever it is, kill everybody else off, save the planet, but there'll be no humans on it. You know those sort of eco-nutters, right? Has stormed out of a council meeting. After being repeatedly misgendered. You numpty, right? He stormed out of a council meeting. The leader of Newham's Green Party walked out of the borough full council meeting on Monday night after being repeatedly misgendered by Labour councillors. Danny Keeling, who is non-binary... No, he's not non-binary, he's just a he. Danny Keeling, who is non-binary, accused colleagues of discrimination following the meeting. The Stratford Olympic Park councillor was speaking against Newham Labour's planned budget plans when they were referred to as he by council chairman Winston Vaughan. And then in his apology, Mr. Vaughan again misgendered him. You couldn't write it. This is like Royston Vasey in the League of Gentlemen, isn't it? You never told me about Swansea, Edward. It's that, isn't it? It's like nutters, right? I've been informed that I've been misrepresenting the councillor, Mr. Vaughan said. I should have said them rather than he. So I do apologise for that, and I think that's what affected him. Is it? Them. Sorry. So my apologies to him. To them. Sorry. Oh, it's utterly glorious. Just kick him out. It's utterly glorious. So that, you know. So he then said, Keeling was again misgendered by council finance lead Zulfikar Ali, prompting them to walk out of the meeting. Good, go away. We don't want you. Just a stupid boy, right? Afterwards, they said, discrimination in the workplace and workplace bullying should never happen. See? Oppression minors. They love it. They love it. These meetings are public and live streamed. What message does this send in LGBT plus History Month? You're nothing to do with LGBT plus History Month. Nothing. You wibbling non-binary sack of uselessness. They added, my local councillor and chair of council attempted to apologise to me by misgendering me once again. They don't like it up them, right? I am beyond annoyed. Are you? Really? If that annoys you, wait till you bump into somebody like me. I'm beyond annoyed and upset at this point. I should not come into this chamber to be dealt with like this. I don't expect any discriminatory behaviour against anyone. I mean, predictably, he's getting his bum rinsed on Twitter for being a ridiculous snowflake. I'll be honest, he says. This is why I did not attend raising the progress flag. There is no progress here. Good. Let's get the progress flag down, because it doesn't mean that. It's the regress flag, right? Get it down. Fellow Green councillor Nate Higgins, he's another one, said, we have now seen Danny Keeling misgendered again to the point where they have now left the room because they feel unable to participate in one of the most important parts of being a councillor. Yep, if you're going to be a lunatic, and if you're going to deny reality, and if you're going to set yourself up as an attention-seeking narcissist nitwit, nobody's going to bother with you. Send him to Coventry. Don't talk to him, don't listen to him. You have a microphone, he said. You have the power here to make this a safe space for trans and non-binary members. Keeling spoke against Newham's budget. It was the first opposition speech at the Newham Council. This is, why have we got entitled children as councillors? That's the first question. Now, the second question is, no. We're not doing it. We're not playing your game, okay? We're not playing your game. End of story. So you and Nate Higgins, who's got form, if you have a look, you can both get in the damn bin. Because you're mad. Glorious stuff. Now, so become a warrior teacher. Subscribe. Buy me a coffee if you can. I can't believe it's March, but look, it's feeling springy. Hence the shirt. I wore this yesterday and somebody said to me, that's a bit of a bad shirt to wear in this weather, isn't it? And I said to him, it's not the shirt that's the problem, it's the weather. How's wrong with these people? Right, okay, so, yeah, there you go. That's it, today's aggregator. I'll see you all later, all right? Have a great day. There's lots going on. Don't forget, Partners for Ethical Care, conference in Texas. Benjamin Boyce coming up. Great to speak. See you later. Bye, folks.